Alright, welcome to JourneyCraft. This is a collaborative effort between 8 different streamers about where we all stream, have fun, we go throughout a journey. That's why it's called JourneyCraft. Alright, welcome everybody to JourneyCraft Episode 2. Alright, and welcome back to JourneyCraft Episode 3. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to JourneyCraft Episode 4. JourneyCraft Episode 5. It's Episode 6. Episode 7. Episode 8. Episode 9, I believe. 10. Hey, what's up, thing taken? I got some dirt in the 13, 19, 22,
24, 26. No, hello there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 28 of JourneyCraft, the last and final episode of this journey. From carrot farms to biodomes, we kind of covered a lot of bases within this series, but I would like to take another miniature journey with you across all the episodes, kind of give my 2 cents and background, what happened, and kind of just reliving a few of those moments. Now, the first 2 to 3 episodes was just kind of getting the idea started, and I believe the 4th episode is actually when things started to go. Now, looking at this, the first 3 episodes was kind of just building this hall, that hall, and
I like the surrounding. And the sword, if you stood it up, would be taller than me. Prank done. This is the base idea. It's kind of like Hobbit hole-esque. Not exactly pretty when it's not done, but like you go in here and it's tunnel-based. I think I'm gonna put a room here. And I think for the most part, I didn't actually do anything between the first episode or the second episode and this episode, so.
the idea of this hall. Now, the 4th episode is when I started naming titles properly, so I'll be able to look at them. Was the Dark Arts Hall.
Bingo.
Now,
Yeah.
I kind of got tired of this one, and I never actually used it. I've been meaning, later on in the series, I actually...
A Dark Arts Hall. So that's where all my potions, enchantment stuff, and anything that I consider dark arts will go over there.
wanted to redo this series. Not the series, this hall, but I never actually got around to doing it. And so we just put an enchanting table in there. I think we used to have potions set up, but we tore it down. It didn't work too well. Now, episode 5 is when we started to get a feel of the series.
Something's going on. Wait a second. Wait, what?
Because random as random as he is, actually built a little den down here.
What? Wait. Stop. My thoughts are about stuff. What? R plus A. Wait.
And actually, I think that was actually a lot later. Because the first creepy thing was this hallway down here, which used to be a giant... Oh, is it still here? yeah, this room, which just said like stylish 7S, random plus stylish, and like a ton of creepy things. And then later on in the series, he made another one. Now, fun little tidbit is I actually did the same thing to his old base. And when I did it, he thought it was another member of the JourneyCraft series, and it actually wasn't. But I don't think I ever actually took credit. So I think he went on to believing like someone was pranking him when it was me all along, which honestly he should have expected because I pranked him all the time. And then it begun the modification of the base. So the aquarium, probably one of my favorites, top 5 favorite projects, because it was so simple and it was so beautiful, and it gave the base movement and life. Now excuse the pigs because those were random, but so I actually had a plan to expand it all the way out to there and that wall. I don't remember. I think we just didn't have we stopped the series, or I stopped playing. So actually, there were plans to expand the aquarium because I loved it so much. It really was. I'd say it was like within my top 3 favorites. No, probably top 4 favorites because now that I'm looking at the list. Now technically, episode 6 and 7, or no, episode 7 and episode 8 were just full on streams, and those don't count. So we started the Goliath project. The project that I did not want to finish by any means, shape, or form. The Goliath project was essentially a giant. No, wait, is that the Goliath project or is that the other project? Yeah, no, that was the Goliath project. Right? I think so. The Goliath project was a project to basically put a giant sun right there, because I think this had already been built by that time because I was streaming and we kind of just did it. I think it was halfway done, and it was a giant sun that was going to power the furnace by probably like a couple of kelp farms or bamboo farms. We never actually made it because it was way too much. It was way too big, and I didn't feel like chopping it down. So we didn't do it. We didn't do it in the long run. And then Iron Golem Insanity is when we went over and made the Iron Golem farm, which kind of fueled everything I built on that little 64 furnace.
I have saltiness in my mouth because I just hate this. All right, I do not mind them dying because I think like at least 15 of my deaths have been to iron golems.
Which I say little, it's still extremely big, but like, you know, you compare it to like Buffoon Craft where it's 256 furnaces all working in unison. It's a little big. And then so we killed the Wither, but then it was the first JourneyCraft torch tutorial, which sparked an amazing, I don't know why I still do it, but we still do it because we can, which I went over to Random's old base, and actually it's probably still partially lit up if I go there. I don't know. I don't remember where it is. And we basically put like 1,000 torches on his base, and it was amazing. And it started something that I continued to do to this day, of putting 1,000,000 torches on Random's base wherever I could, which was actually really fun. And it's easy content. It's so easy because people never expect you to make more torches and more torches. So it was pretty easy to do, and I think that's why I kept doing it. It was easy content. Starting the biodome, which took 3 episodes. This I really loved. Not one of my favorite projects because I never really finished it, but the biodome up here like create serenity in like this vast looking wasteland, which my render distance is all the way high, but the server's limiting it, which upsets me, but whatever. And like the simplicity of it, and a little house, which I'm terrible at building. um and I wanted to spread out my footprint, like, because I can condense everything I need into a small base, but this allowed me to just like I like sitting in here right now, like I want to like breathe in the fresh air compared to the mesa. And it took me a while. I think the biggest part was the glass, because it was just a lot of glass. I think this is actually leftover glass from the Goliath project, which I started grinding resources for, but then we canceled that. So then I made this, and it was so much easier to do. And I actually did a couple of time lapses, which was pretty cool. Um, on to episode 14. Probably, man, probably another one of my favorites. This series really made me think outside the box, because I don't really like the mesa biome. I understand that, like, I think like two of my series I live in the mesa biome. The biopods. This was a pretty good episode. I loved this one. I liked the design, and it was just a simple way for me to make food, because I kept complaining about food every single day because I never made it. And then Random went through and actually filled this with trees. I think it was Random. And it was just a little simple thing. And then they had like little skylights. And then my favorite, which I think was in the thumbnail. Was it in the thumbnail? It was not in the thumbnails. It really should have been. Which, looking from like top down, it's just these little pods of vegetation and growth, where these trees weren't here at the time, so it, like, you look in and it was like, oh, it's green, like, oh, orange everywhere, it was terrible. But then it's like it's green. Ignore that hole we were exploring earlier. And it was good. I really love that one. It was so fun to do. It was a lot of fun to do. So, and then furnishing, well, deep storage, which wasn't that great. The idea was pretty simple, which I wanted to condense a lot of my storage down, so we created these little pods that have shulker boxes full of whatever we were filling up. Sounds like it's in my base. Hello? Oh, it's in the, okay. There's a hole down here. And we never used it. Like, I kept using the resources that I was putting in, and so we never could really fill it up. Oh, it's above here. No. Okay, that's gonna bother me hearing that, but whatever. So, we wanted to. What did I see down there? What did I see? Oh, pig. Never mind. And it was a fun thing to do. It really was. So, and then it was furnishing the biodome, which was adding the house. And then started the big project. Which I think it's I think it was the biggest project. I think. Because either the 64 furnace, which is this one, or the furnace that's behind it, was the biggest project.
I have the ability to smelt 245,760 blocks before I'm out of resources.
Which was essentially this mass smelting area to smelt kelp into dried kelp, so that we could take the dried kelp and furnace, the furnace over there, the 64 furnace, which actually, fun fact, this is a 64 furnace. It's separated, but this is 16, that's 16, and the bottom two are 16. So I created a 64 furnace to fuel the 64 furnace. And probably, like, it was a lot of... It was a lot of mining, but basically the kelp just goes in like that. And actually, we had to modify this like 3 or 4 times to get it, to where it wouldn't break. So those observers with that right there actually has a separate path from this one, and so does that one. So there's actually 4 different hopper paths going into the furnace to split it among the furnaces. So it was effectively, the work was among... so we didn't fill up the hoppers, so they didn't get too terribly broken, which the server hasn't been running, so nothing's been breaking effectively, which was good. It is good. So that was like 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 4 episodes right there, working on that one thing. Which, in like retrospect, like, man, this didn't take a lot of time. It really, really didn't. And thinking about the series, like, I think I got most of my tears gone. But like thinking about the series, it got me a little teary-eyed. Because it was the journey, it was JourneyCraft. Like, not a lot of views. It was never about the views. Not a lot of views, not a lot of watch time, not a lot of good content, but the journey that it represented. Because JourneyCraft is the one series where you can look at the entire shift and change in my style of content, as well as the professionalism I tried to achieve. And you can really observe it by simply looking at the thumbnails. You can see the progression of maturity and time being put into my content. And I think JourneyCraft is really the only one where you can see constantly big, noticeable changes. And it was really good. And then the next episode 20, somebody made a wither at my base. That was fun. And then I lit up somebody else's base. I think I lit up Monty's base that time, or it was probably random because he's always a good guy to prank. And then I was pranked by somebody put a ton of pressure plates around, which I then took and prank somebody. I think I have a chest in here actually full of iron pressure plates, which was probably funded by my iron farm. Right here, yeah.
I want to do right now. Just kind of gonna look.
Iron pressure plates, a whole ton of them. I also have a lot of shulker shells. I don't remember getting that many shulker shells, gonna be honest. I bought them from Monty, I think. Yeah, probably. And then I was pranked. I pranked somebody, a lot of pranks. And then starting the biodome again. Wait, did I just jump from episode 24 to 26? Where's 25 and where's 25? Oh. Okay, so the episodes are around. Okay, so basic base etiquette. Okay, so in the playlists they're switched. Those need to be switched around. I need to do that. So basic base etiquette was when I went over to random base and put like 50, 100 crafting tables and it's still there on his base. Random and I were just looking at it. Hopefully I'll put in a clip and show that. But yeah, that took me so long that I kept doing giant spruce trees at the end of getting logs and logs and logs. And I actually bought so much bone meal, like a ton and ton and tons of bone meal to supply this. It was so much, but I made a giant crafting table at his base filled with crafting tables, and it was probably like my second best prank. My first best prank is when I covered like I think it was like 9 chunks of his base full of torches, and that was worth it. It was well worth it. So then the next one, oh no, base etiquette. Yeah, okay, so same thing, but then episode 27 was giving him the supercomputer, which is when I did the big one. But then I did a smaller one. I think it's safe to say that oh, was it worth it? 2 episodes before that. But anyway, starting the biodome again. This one, the second biodome. This is by far my favorite. This is my favorite area of the entire base. Because I didn't work on any of this. Like all of the inside was not done by me. It was done by Nurse, and it was done beautifully. And like it just feels like you're walking into another biome. It just feels, and like especially with like the paned glass, I would never have thought of that. And you're walking in, and it feels so amazing. Again, you want to take like that breath of air. It was a really amazing job. I don't think I thanked them properly enough, but it was super cool. And then yeah, episode 27, which was giving Random his giant gift. It and that was the last episode. The episodes just stopped until today. 6 yeah, 6 months later. This is the final time I will be clicking save and quit on this world. I put 11,000 minutes into that series. That's 11,000 divided by 60. I put 183 hours. 183 hours into that series. That series alone. And yeah, wow. It was a journey. A journey that I have to thank Random and Monty for. That I would not be here at all if I didn't join JourneyCraft. More than likely. Because Monty was the one that invited me on to JourneyCraft. And he didn't need to do that. He barely knew me. We talked a little bit. I was a little helpful. And then he invited me on, and I started making content. JourneyCraft was effectively the first series that I dedicated real time to and took seriously. And you can see that in the content. And I know I said it earlier, but it was never about like the views or the popularity or whatever. It was always about the journey, and that's why it was named JourneyCraft. To them, it never mattered if people poured their time and if people made a whole bunch of content. It was all about just having a little bit of fun, friendship, and everyone going along their journey. And I looking back, which 6 months ago, so much was done in so little time. So much has gone on, that I wish I did more, to be honest. I wish I put more time in, and I wish I really kept the series up and going. Really, I really do. But I wanted to make a video saying thank you, appreciating the past, really. And as all journeys do, there has to be an end, right? So I wanted to make this video and officially put the key in the box and say that, the final episode of JourneyCraft is done. Of course, if you don't assume that I'm going to be doing the next season, which should be coming out soon. So, we'll start a new journey on season 2.